Hello and welcome to this week's podcast. This podcast is mainly about growth and how any growth is good growth. So the one major thing that we're going to go into is growth and good growth. So this is where a lot of people get discouraged when they don't see growth and rapid growth and things like that. But people need to remember, any growth is good growth. Like, not just on one social media platform, but like also in yourself. If you're growing and you're seeing something in yourself, it also works too. So, like, for me, I see very small growth. To me, that is more authentic and better than rapid growth because it shows and it keeps me in check, and like I am there for everybody's single one of you guys. So that's me. But we're gonna see if anybody else drops down recording and see what they have to say.
Good progression, or even just like healthy progression overall. In my personal experience with progressing on Twitch and how far I've gotten, I would say healthy progression is when you slowly form a community that is, positive to you and that you can even be a little open towards. Obviously keep certain things, to yourself and keep like a distance away from you and your community because you want to keep like that healthy barrier. But a big thing is just, being able to have a community that you can talk to about certain things and open up to like a certain amount, and they're there for you. They keep a positive atmosphere for you, and just keep things all right and good for you as well. I believe that's a good way of like showing that you have like a good progression on Twitch, is just, how positive and how good the community is that you've built over time. So that's personally what I think what good progression is on that front. Also, just like, how like, you've noticed like each month, if you do want to do it like this, like each month you can, you know, jot down how many followers you've gotten that month, things you've done that kind of like, helped you keep the following count like to like a higher standard. And then, if you see like next month after that, you see that you're not making as many followers, you can like review notes and see like what you might have done, what you might have changed that might be causing that, and obviously, if you notice that there's nothing changed and that it's still, the same things you've been doing, then it could be just a slow month, or it could just show you that some things have changed, so you just need to change some things up. That right now is some of the best advice I can give for like just good, healthy progression. Just don't focus too much on the like what like you want your future goals and you're trying to like rush to them. Don't focus on that. Try focusing on the here and the now, and just realize that just keep focusing on the next step, next step, next step, and you'll get far. And just know that, it's a marathon, a journey. It's not a sprint. It's pretty much your life. Especially if you decide to do streaming as your what you want to go for. So that that's just the way it is. Just gotta keep stepping forward. Keep looking for like what you can improve on from what you've noticed. Like if you notice one thing's not working, you can try something different and just keep going forward. Well, that was my advice of the night of this for Miss MJ's podcast. If you need to find me anywhere, you can just find me through Shane's Worlds, ShanesWorlds. And trust me, you'll know it when you see it, especially if you're a fan of a certain anime you recognize it from. So yeah, hope you guys have a great night, and I hope you enjoy the podcast. Thank you so much, MJ, for having me here.
I'm gonna update you because we haven't talked in a quick minute. So
Yeah, what's up?
I'm on new meds for my depression, anxiety, sleep, all of that sort of stuff.
Word.
So it lowers my blood pressure. So I've been, really low blood pressure, but I've also been like, my apparent signs of ADHD is there. Like it is,
More blatant.
yeah. And I'm like, I knew that I had it before, but now it's more of a. Okay then. And trying to focus is a little bit harder.
I feel that.
So yeah.
But luckily they make some pretty mild ADHD medications that are like non-narcotic.
Yeah.
That's what I take.
Now it's just trying to actually get them prescribed properly.
Right. I'm pretty lucky when it comes to doctors in that I tend to just be like, hey, here's what I'm feeling, here's what I need, and then they're like, all right, cool, got you, fam, and they just give it to me.
Yeah. I don't really get that easiness.
Like straight up, even when I was like doing drugs, like I went to the hospital one time and the doctor was like, I could give you drugs to get through your withdrawals, or I could just give you Percocet, and I was like, I'll take the Percocet. Like,
Right. Okay. But
you don't remember that?
I do, but like, how about just get them through just enough, right?
Right. Well, that would make sense, you know, and would aid in recovery.
Just attributing the problem.
Instead of just perpetuating the opioid crisis, you know? Crisis.
Cracus.
Anyway. Yeah. So what are we talking about this week? I totally forgot already.
You're all good. So like how growth, like any growth, is good growth, even if it's not stream related.
Oh, yeah, I haven't been streaming virtually at all, but, you know, I've got growth stuff, I
Like I'm very
suppose.
much on the aspect of like any growth. Like I don't care if it's stream related. Like I personally think that for me, just because I'm a streamer and I want to be a content creator and all this sort of stuff does not mean that I get to not grow also spiritually, mentally, whatever it may be. You know what I mean?
Right. I feel that.
Still gotta
Yeah,
grow.
no, I mean, well, if we're talking about like not necessarily stream related growth, I mean, like shit. I like to think I've grown a lot in the last 5-10 years.
That's good.
I mean, I used to sell drugs and rob people for a living, like, and now I'm a teacher, so like, you know.
That's growth. That's definitely growth. Like 10 years ago, first of all, if I was still in high school 10 years ago.
Really, are you that much younger than me?
Yeah, apparently I'm just turning 26 in April.
Oh, okay, not that much younger than me. I'm 28, turning 29.
Yeah. Oh.
So I've been out of school for more than 10 years at this point, but
No. I was still in school 10 years ago. The 10 years ago me and this me would not get along.
why's that?
Like the 10 years ago me, I was definitely more antisocial than I am now, first off. And I kept really into my own space. And I was very closed off. I was not open minded. A lot of that sort of thing. I was also stuck in a rut. Like, I wasn't gonna go anywhere.
Feel that.
But like now, like I assistant community director. Like, I will go places. Like, it's gonna happen. Like,
Being totally honest, I don't know what old me would think of new me.
yeah.
I suppose at a certain point in my past, I would think that current me is like a poser or whatever because I don't do drugs anymore. But like, whatever. Why would I care about that? I don't know. I feel like everything I felt as a kid, like growing up, I only feel more intensely about now. You know, like growing up, I wasn't super political. I wasn't like involved in the political process. I didn't like understand a lot of how it worked, but I like the very basic principles of like people should be nice to each other, people should help each other, people should do good when they can. You know, those kind of principles were still very, very there. Wanting to help people has always been. So I mean, like I knew when I was in middle school that like whatever I ended up doing, I wanted to help people. For a long time, I wanted to be a psychologist, like a therapist, you know, counselor type deal. But I don't know. That's fair. I feel like most people don't, and like honestly, even still, like I don't know. Maybe if you told me when I was 15 that I was gonna be working at a school, I probably wouldn't have believed you.
Yeah, I'd
But
probably feel the same way too.
but
Like,
I don't know, if you told me when I was 19, I would have laughed at you because at that point I was on my hustle, doing my thing.
don't mind me in the lights.
No, you're all right. My lights only have it only has one setting. It's lighter or darker.
That's apparently as good as it's gonna get, because if I go one more, so that's one more up. Yeah, I mean, that kind of works. That's a little better.
I do see some flickering though. Is that the lights or is that just like an effect on the camera?
That's just the camera.
Okay, so that is that the refresh speed on your camera is incompatible with your light, with like the rate at which your light frequency comes out. It's some super sciencey nerd shit. A buddy of mine was just dealing with this exact issue like a couple weeks ago. Yeah, see, and now it's gone. So it's whatever that specific blue was, because it wasn't doing it before either. It was whatever that specific blue was coming out at like a weird frequency, and it was messing with your camera. Cause see, it's not doing it now either.
It's only
There it
that
is.
blue.
That one. Yeah,
Oh, good.
that's interesting.
But